Former NFL offensive lineman Ross Tucker talked about the Browns quarterback situation with Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel.
It's kind of hard, unless he plays like horrendous, it's kind of hard to not give Flacco at least 2 games after that. I feel like that's almost the scale now where it's like every win buys him 2 more post-victory starts. So if they lose the next 2, weeks 4 and 5, then we can have that conversation again, because then they'll be 1 and 4 and whatever. But I feel like every win pushes back the potential of Dillon Gabriel time 2 more weeks, if that makes sense. By the way, can you, obviously I used to be a player. These are the type of conversations that drive players nuts. Like, we just beat the Packers, and the bozos on local radio, including a former Brown bozo, are talking about how all it does is push it back 2 weeks when we play the rookie quarterback. Like, this is why the teams, just so you know, hate sports talk radio, right? Like, it's Wednesday, they just beat the best team in the NFL, and this is the conversation we're having.
They still listen.
First of all, they still listen, and second of all, I still come on, and I still talk about it.
Jacob, it's a valid point, but I think it does. And you know what? When you look at it, there's a path to 3-3. Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers with this defensive line, and Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy, I'd say the same thing. Now, am I guaranteeing those wins? I'm saying no, but I see with this defense a path to those wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like the Steelers very easily right now could be 0-3, and so that kind of changes what you think about them. But Joe Flacco provides a nice baseline. I really understand what Ross Tucker's talking about, and I agree with him, because there have been some conversations this week about the offense that would make you think that the Packers had beat the Browns on Sunday, and so I thought that was a really good point by him. But yeah, he provides kind of a nice floor, where you talked about it earlier in the show about, like, he's done such a good job making sure they're not giving themselves pre-snap penalties because they're lined up well, lined up wrong. And that floor and that baseline is high enough to where you feel confident that he could make just enough plays, and you don't know necessarily where that baseline or that floor is for Dillon Gabriel, because it could be lower. It could be worse. He could easily be worse than Joe Flacco. He doesn't have quite as big of an arm. I mean, he is smaller, those sorts of things. So yeah, there's a path where if Flacco can continue, I mean, you didn't have a bunch of turnovers in this game, right? And I think that was a deciding factor. So if he could continue to do that and then just progress a little bit, because I think the offense has gotten better as much as some of the data doesn't necessarily say it has. I think it has got a little bit progressively better. I can understand why you want to go with that baseline and that you think there could be wins. I absolutely see a path to 3-3 with Joe Flacco.
Yeah, and you know what? We don't know it with Dillon Gabriel. The other thing is Kevin Stefanski and the offensive staff don't know it because they haven't seen regular season game planning for this offense, and it's different. And everything is sped up even more.